Hello, everyone. Good things happen on Fridays. I'm Rob Thomas. As you know, I'm a BG5 enthusiast. I am a certified consultant with an active practice, and I absolutely love talking about all things BG5. And so, really quickly, for those of you that are just stumbling onto this information, it's the first time you've ever seen this. Maybe you're from the human design community, maybe you're not. Maybe you're a coach or a counselor, but you're looking at other systems. Let me tell you what BG5 is really quickly. Simply put, in its most simple terms, BG5 is the career and business application of the human design system, where we use everyday language because that's what you use in the workplace. Today, I have a fantastic opportunity to interview Debbie Rosenfelt. She is going to share more with us about her background and several other things. I don't want to kill them all by mentioning who she is and what she brings, but she is currently a student within the BG5 Institute. She has studied the foundation course. She intends to move forward. So with that, hi Debbie, how are you?
I'm great, Rob. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you giving us and everyone in the community the opportunity to hear more about your story, learn more about what you bring to the community and what you're intending to do with it. So with that, please share with us what you bring as far as a professional background to the community of BG5.
You bet. So my professional background has been in corporate America in finance and working as a CFO with CEOs, helping them, grow their businesses and then I've moved to small businesses as well, where I support small business owners with their finances. And then just recently, I have also become a grief coach as well.
Wow. So you're doing some big work. Finance is probably one of the scariest subjects on this planet. And the fact that you understand it and you help other people with that has got to feel very empowering.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. It's great work.
Yeah, I mean, because if someone can't control their checkbook, it's not going to go well.
Exactly right. And so, and in big business, you have to have your finances together so you can, manage your growth, manage what it is that, all the new projects that you are bringing on board or that you want to do, because you have to financially plan it out.
Absolutely. Yeah. So will you share more about how you found BG5, how you got exposed to it, and what keeps you interested in it and what keeps you digging into it and wanting more?
Yeah, thank you. So I was actually introduced to human design, I want to say around 2009 or 2010, something like that. And a friend of mine who was studying it just asked if I, would like to have a reading. And I said, sure, why not? And I was really quite fascinated what she had to share. And then I said, okay, well, I think I just let it go. And so then back in 2012, I was introduced to Chris Porcheska, who is a teacher with BG5. And I went to one of her very first workshops, which had nothing to do with human design. But what I really appreciated about Chris was her energy. I just really enjoyed her energy. And then I saw that she went down the path of, human design. So I've been just listening to her off on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. And what came to be, so this can come out as we share, but I was literally trained in finance, and I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I was raised by parents who are generators or builders, people who go. And so, but I always felt out of place, and I felt like, I don't know, is this, I did what I thought I was supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And so I started going down a different path of saying, I'm wondering if I need to try something else. And so instead of listening to, this is what I'm supposed to do, I said, I think I'm gonna talk to God a bit and see if there's a different path. And I actually did that. And I reached out to Chris. It was about a year ago. And I asked for, set up a time. I just remember that's the work she's doing. And it's just, it always intrigued me because I had the human design reading from the past in the back of my mind, but I really didn't know what it meant. So I wanted to explore that more. And so that's what I decided to do. So I was introduced to human design, scheduled a reading with Chris, and then I've just been, listening to the BG5 live calls every Tuesday. And so then when she mentioned that she was going to be studying or teaching, the Foundations course, I looked into it further. I said, I think I'm going to go down that path.
Fantastic. What a cool story. I always enjoy hearing about how each person, how this lands in their lap, right? Curious to know more about what it felt like for you living as the career type, which we'll discuss next, but receiving a command that was not parallel with what your true design was. Or sorry, let me rephrase the question. What did it feel? Curious to learn more about what it felt like when you were going through your BG5 analysis with Chris.
Yeah.
And receiving that validation to the things that you had been feeling all along to this point.
Yeah. Well, first off, I wanted more. I'm going, tell me more. And quite honestly, I was also looking, I need to be fixed, right? I'm trying to figure myself out. What is it that I'm here to do? Because it's something that I've questioned all my life. And so there's been quite a few epiphanies since then that have been pretty cool. And so the acknowledgement was rather freeing, and me wanting more and me wanting to understand it more. And what I've actually learned is I just need to trust that it's all inside of me. And when I can just be quiet with it, I don't need to do anything, but just to be quiet with it, it just all comes flowing right to me.
Wow. That was beautifully put. Thank you for sharing what that experience was like so that other people can understand more about that, especially the people that share the same career type as you. So will you share with everybody who's watching more about what your career type is and what that's like?
Yeah. So my career type is a manifestor innovator, if you will. And so what I have learned is all I need to do is initiate, and as well as inform. And so that means I can make stuff happen. And I've known that about me, but I didn't know that about me in that context. And I would always get some kind of comment saying, wow, you got that done so fast, or oh, wow, that was, and I'm going, that's what I do. I just get stuff done. So, so when I learned more about that, I wanted to understand it. I wanted to grasp it, but there's nothing to grasp. It's just like Chris has shared, just be. There's nothing to do. You just be yourself, because, your design does you. You don't do your design.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So last week I had the interview with Anna Murphy, who also is an innovator. And I've experienced some innovators in the past. And I think, like most everybody on this planet, we largely misunderstand innovators. Like for me personally, I prior to understanding more about the innovator, I took everything personally. I felt like the innovator was trying to run me over, railroad me, control me, on and on and on. Well, So if I had the opportunity to rewind the tape and go back and help or assist the innovator with the information that I have now, I would have coached them to just say, hey, then the next step is to inform.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because that's what removes the resistance.
Yeah.
All I need to know is what you're doing so that then when it happens, I'm not threatened or I receive it in another way. So, and it's interesting when you look at the dynamics of you and I'm an express builder, and my whole life I've been initiating. I've been trying to be the innovator.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was raised by parents that said, you got to take the initiative, go out and make it happen. And you hear these memes all the time,
yes.
and they're supposed to be true for everybody, like hustle.
Yeah.
Hustle
yes.
is like, what, to me, that's become a cuss word. Like, if someone talks about hustle, I'm like, go wash your mouth out with soap. But
amen to that. Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, for sure. Like, hustle after what and where? With a mask on or socially distant? I mean, how's that going to work? So, well, thank you for sharing with us more about what life feels like for you as an innovator. So you mentioned that you're on the foundation course.
Yeah.
I'm curious to learn more, or I would like for you to share with everyone a couple pieces or big things that have really impacted you as you've gone through the course, that not only impacted you, but maybe are perpetuating this movement forward in BG5 for you personally.
Yeah. Great question. I can say this whole course, every single week, I have learned something more and more about myself, but some really deep ahas. And a couple of them were, first off, I always have felt that I needed to be fixed. And what I'm learning is there's nothing to fix. It's just for me to understand myself, and I can course correct. That was rather freeing, very freeing. What was also rather freeing, as I've been taking the course, I've been doing charts of my family.
Mm-hmm.
What I've learned is I was raised by a generator, a builder family, and I was the only manifestor, the only innovator, and so I was controlled, and I turned into a rebel. And I understand now why. I was just looking for my freedom.
Yeah.
And if my parents understood that or knew that, I think my life would be completely different, in that I wouldn't have been repressed so much. And so, and you know, as parents, we do the best job that we can. So what I'm excited for is I really want to be able to serve parents with this kind of information to help them understand their children more, and to help their kids be more successful in who they naturally are. And there's nothing that the parents have to do. It's just learning to understand their children and how they were created, how they were built to be.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
You said a couple things that really knocked me over, and I feel prompted now just to share with those innovators that are watching, just to kind of reinforce the message that not only Debbie has given, but Anna talked about last week. And these are things that you will learn about if you decide to move forward through the BG5 Foundation Course and then move on into certification. So innovators, if you're out there, please don't wait for permission. You are not here to wait for anything, except for timing, of course, but you are initiators. You literally have the power to say, let there be light, and then manifest. You know, you're not here to be questioned. So understand that, and please just understand who you are, because once you do, beautiful things can happen. So Debbie, you mentioned having a grief practice.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are interested in learning more about Debbie's grief practice, Debbie, will you direct them on how the best way is to connect with you, so that if they want to have that conversation, they can pick that up with you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate that very much. So they can just go to my website, ceofromtheheart.com, and I just teach the grief recovery method, as well as coach others who have been through grief, who are going through grief, but have experienced very, very deep loss. I had that personal experience when I was working in corporate America, and I had my family support system. And I certainly went to a grief counselor, but this is really powerful work to help us move us through with our grief. And it's not just about with losing a loved one. It's literally about times like these during the pandemic when, loss of a job, financial loss, loss of faith. It's not just about losing somebody through death. So it's quite powerful work. So yeah, ceofromtheheart.com. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I hope that everybody has enjoyed the opportunity to learn more about Debbie and connect with her through what she has shared. And of course, she's giving you directions on how to connect with her if you're interested in hearing more about the grief practice. And Debbie, I just want to thank you again. And I hope that you'll be open to future conversations as this all unfolds.
Yeah, I would love to, Rob. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.